Good evening, everyone. Let us all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. JC, you want to take a roll call, please?
President Galbraith, Vice President Morgan,
Present.
Secretary Tyler,
Present.
Board Member Tripp,
Present.
Board Member Miller.
Present.
You have a quorum.
All right, welcome to the Rio Rancho Public School Board meeting on this Monday, August the 25th, 2025. At this time, we will have introductory comments by our Superintendent, Dr. V. Sue Cleveland.
Thank you all for being here this evening. Before this meeting, we had an audit committee meeting. The audit committee met with the contractor, which is Beasley Mitchell and Company, and they just gave us a brief update on where they are in the audit, how things were looking and how things were progressing. They told us that they should have more definitive information about 2 weeks from now, and hope to have a report available to the audit committee and the second meeting in September. All that the committee discussed during that meeting were matters that were specifically related to the audit, and that audit is now underway. We have 4 representatives, and we have an opportunity to ask any questions that we might have regarding the audit. We have some commendations this evening. The first is Rio Rancho Fire and Rescue. They collected backpacks and supplies for some of our students. We have a lot of students in this district who struggle to be able to purchase their school supplies, and so we are really appreciative of this donation. You know, we also want to acknowledge the time and the effort that goes into having a drive. We know it takes a lot of time and effort and time away from other things. It really makes a difference for kids, and so we know you're really busy people, and we just want to be able to thank you for all of the efforts that benefited our students. Michelle Havel, who is our Executive Director of Student Services, and Mariah Affenchanger, Director of Student Services, will present this item. We also had a donation of supplies from Intel Corporation, and we sincerely thank the Intel employees who did donate some backpacks and supplies to our students. These items were really needed, we said, and they can make a really big difference for some of our children and our families. And Michelle and Mariah will also comment on this commendation as well. We have Sandoval County Local DWI program. The board is being asked this evening to consider approval of the DWI Prevention and Intervention Program and the LDWI. It's 2 separate items, and both of these are a cooperative effort between the district and Sandoval County. Jessica Sanchez, the principal of Independence High School, will present the request, and we'll share some information with you this evening about how these efforts impact their campus and their students. Principal Sanchez will also share some information regarding the product that the media literacy class will produce for Sandoval County. And we appreciate the opportunity to be part of these 2 initiatives, as well as many other collaborative efforts with Sandoval County. We have a policy reading this evening that comes from some recent legislative action. Policy 1022. Michelle Havel will present a proposed policy on reporting student abuse of alcohol or drugs. New Mexico law requires that school district employees who know or in good faith suspect a student is using or abusing alcohol or drugs is responsible for reporting this information and cooperating with the school administration. This includes events that occur during school hours, during school events such as extracurricular activities, and even things outside of regular school events. School employees are not responsible for investigating these accusations. All investigations are conducted by school administrators or HR staff. So This is a change. We've always had this in the past. It's never been state law. And I think the legislature wanted to make it very clear what those responsibilities were. And, not only with regards to drug abuse, alcohol abuse, but anytime we see mistreatment of students or staff, it is our responsibility as professionals to report those to the proper authority. And so this will be the first reading, which means no action will be taken this evening. The board will have a chance to review the policy, and it will be brought back for reconsideration in 2 weeks. We have an invitation to bid, and the title of it is New Mexico Grown Productions for National School Lunch Program Meals. And this will be presented by Michael Madrid, who is our Chief Procurement Officer and Director of Finance. The board is being asked to consider awards to multiple qualified vendors for the supply of New Mexico grown agricultural products as part of our participation in the National School Lunch Program. Our students and our staff have greatly benefited from locally produced fresh fruits, vegetables, chili, mushrooms, and beef included in their meals. And this is also a really nice boost for New Mexico farmers and ranchers. It has opened up another avenue for them to be able to sell and show the products that we have here within our own state. So it's been kind of a win-win for everyone, better food in our cafeteria, and it supports one of our important industries, agricultural industries for the state. And then this, it seems like we just did this, but it's that time again to look at the New Mexico School Boards Association call for legislative resolutions. The board is asked to consider submitting RRPS, Board of Education resolutions for next year for the session for 2026. These resolutions have the potential to be included in the New Mexico School Boards Association legislative platform, as well as their strategic initiatives for the legislative session. And we use our resolutions 2 ways. One is to be part of the New Mexico School Boards Association platform, but also for us as individually as a district to clarify those important resolutions that we want to communicate to our legislative delegation of things that are really important to our district, to our families, and to our students and staff. School boards this year have been asked not to submit any items that are already included in their legislative platform, so we don't do a repetitive kind of request. And Lauren Hatch, Chief Legal Counsel, will present that agenda item this evening, utilizing previous resolutions and previous discussions with the Board of Education. We have an amendment to the lease agreement for Enchanted Mesa Daycare. The daycare has really provided a needed service for our staff. It has been really important factor in the recruitment and retention of school employees in the district. So high quality daycare, and it honestly keeps a lot of people in our district. This service is also offered to Independence High School students who are parents. And at this time, we do have students who are taking advantage of that as well. I just got to tell you one thing, as we look for the future, as we hope maybe be able to expand that, the daycare to also be part of a career technical education program, maybe at a larger site, new site, but to run a program that would be considered a CTE-based program. We had an opportunity to see that in a couple of districts several years ago, and it's just something that we would like to possibly consider for the future. The lease for the daycare is between Garza Group, LLC, and the district. And this will be the first amendment to the existing agreement. And Shelley Havel, Executive Director of Student Services, will present that item. Do you have any questions or concerns or anything you'd like clarified?
Any questions? Jessica, you have any questions, concerns?
No, I do not. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you, Dr. Cleveland. Appreciate that. Next on the agenda is approve the prioritized agenda.
Make a motion that we approve the prioritized agenda.
Board Member Miller, I second the motion.
Okay, I've got Gary to approve Miller to, I'm sorry. Second. Do we want to take a roll call, J.C., or do we just, let's do a roll call if you don't mind.
Secretary Tyler,
Yes.
Board Member Tripp,
Yes.
Board Member Miller,
Yes.
Vice President Morgan.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
All right, thank you, thank you. Next on the agenda is our commendations. First is the Rio Rancho Fire Rescue School Supply Donations. You guys could come forward, please. Michelle Havel. Anyone else that's with her? Okay.
Good evening, Vice President Morgan, Dr. Cleveland, and members of the board. We're here to do a commendation for Rio Rancho Fire Rescue for their generous donation of school supplies to support students. And with that, their connection to our department, as well as to Mariah as our Director of Counseling, and Danielle Martinez, her specialist, also was instrumental in helping get supplies where they needed to be. So at this time, we'd like to introduce Chief James Wenzel and Deputy Chief Brian Dolan.
Yeah, come on up.
We'd like to thank you both, and also if you'd like to say a few words, you're welcome to.
Dr. Cleveland, members of the board, thank you so much. It was an absolute honor to try to do a school drive for you guys. We thought it might be small. We only had a couple weeks to get behind it, but the men and women of Rio Rancho Fire Rescue truly turned out. Very heartfelt response from everybody. They were driven. We had multiple totes from the citizens that also stopped by our fire stations. So it was a very humbling experience for us to go through. We're happy to partner with you guys on such an important fact to help this get the kids for the new beginning of school year. So thank you for all that you guys do. Thank you all the educators. We know it's a very big and busy time for you guys as well. We look forward to participating with you in the coming years as well, and hopefully we can do it even bigger and better next year.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? That's it? All right. All right. Dr. Cleveland, you have anything?
Well, I just spoke to briefly before the meeting, but we really do appreciate this. And we know you're extremely busy people, have a lot on your plate. And to think about the students that have these needs and be willing to spend the time and effort to put in to make sure these kids had backpacks and supplies. And, they're really excited when they get them. And so I hope you'll convey to everyone in your department how much we do appreciate it and how much it was needed. And we really do thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Hold on, wait and see if some of the board members have any comments. Any?
Just thank you for your work for our students and appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Jessica, you have anything?
No, just thank you for the work and for doing this again. Yeah, thanks.
All right, Gary.
Again, just a heartfelt thanks. Thank you for everything you do for the community and for our students. Thank you.
100%. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you. Okay, next we'll have Intel school supply donations and
All right, so our next commendation is for Intel. Similarly, for school supplies, they did donate a number of backpacks with school supplies to also support the same cause of getting those distributed to students in need. I don't know that we are anticipating anybody representing Intel this evening,
no, they didn't make it.
but we do just want to publicly thank them again for just coming together as they always do and providing some items to support our students.
Okay.
I do want to say to the fire department, we always have like a plaque that we give you, but our specialist had to leave today due to a medical emergency. So it will be coming and we will get some pictures. So we apologize for that. When we found out that Intel kind of had scaled back on their school supplies this year, our department was really a little bit nervous about how much we could provide to the students. So y'all coming through for us and for our students, it was very welcome. And we a sigh of relief when we knew that you were donating even more items for our kiddos. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Anyone?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, just clap. I'm sorry. Yeah. At this time, we have no public comments However, the board accepts and reviews written public comments. Person wishing to address the board with writing may use the link found on the main Rio Rancho Public School Board page. Okay. Next on the agenda, I'd like to have somebody approve the consent agenda.
Board Member Gary Tripp, I recommend that we approve the consent agenda.
Board Member Miller, I second the motion.
I have a approval with Gary, a second by Miller. Jason, you want to take roll call again, please?
Secretary Tyler,
Yes.
Board Member Tripp,
Yes.
Board Member Miller,
Yes.
Vice President Morgan.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
All right, thank you. Moving right along. Next, we have the business.
One and two go together.
Yes, so we have the Jessica Sanchez. All right. Consider the approval for the Sandoval County LDWI, and you'll stick around for the second one as well, right?
Will do, yes.
Okay, then.
Good evening, Vice President Morgan, members of the board, Dr. Cleveland. I'm here on behalf of Independence High School to present two prevention initiatives that we have the opportunity to implement thanks to funding through the Sandoval County DWI, as well as the LDWI, Prevention and Intervention Program. Together, these two programs reflect a total grant investment of $20,000 from Sandoval County to support evidence-based, culturally responsive, and age-appropriate prevention education for our students. At this time, I'd like to take a moment to briefly outline each initiative separately. So there's two, and the first one that I'm going to present is what we're going to do. The first initiative will be, we will be implementing two cohorts within a film and media literacy class. These classes will engage students in producing a total of 4 public service announcements and 4 billboards or posters that address underage drinking, adult provision of alcohol to minors, and drinking and driving. The student-led campaigns will be shared with the broader Sandoval County community and will include acknowledgement of the program's support. In addition to giving students valuable experience in media and advocacy, the initiative helps promote positive decision-making and peer-led prevention messaging. I don't know if we have some examples. These are a couple of examples of billboards that our students produced that were hanging on Southern and 528. This is one of them. This is another. And this is pretty profound as well. Seems simple, but putting that together, that was all of them. I did not get any videos. I didn't know how much time I had, so I didn't bring the PSAs here tonight, but they're quite interesting, to say the least. They had a lot of fun. Okay, to move on to the second initiative. We will be—
Wait, so do we need to vote for the first one? Yeah, so let us vote on this first one, and then we'll come back for the second one. Can I get somebody to make a motion?
Gary Tripp, I recommend the approval of the Sandoval County LDWI program.
Board Member Miller, I second the motion.
Okay, Gary, made a motion for approval. Miller made a second. Can we take a roll call, please?
Secretary Tyler,
Yes.
Board Member Tripp,
Yes.
Board Member Miller,
Yes.
Vice President Morgan.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Thank you. So the second initiative, which is an additional $10,000, this one is to implement a targeted evidence-based prevention curriculum, which is Health Rocks, for approximately 45 students through our health and leadership classes. This program includes a minimum of 16 sessions per student covering critical life and social skills like decision-making, refusal skills, and risk analysis. Students will complete pre- and post-program assessments and engage in community-based prevention activities. Both initiatives require regular data reporting, evaluation, and ongoing collaboration with the Sandoval County DWI prevention team. Together, these programs strengthen our school's ability to deliver high-quality, meaningful prevention education that empowers students and promotes safer, healthier communities. So at this time, I respectfully ask that we consider the second initiative, which is $10,000 as well.
Okay, I forgot to ask for the, do anyone have any questions? Dr. Cleveland, any comments and all?
I emphasize again, each of these grants bring $10,000, so for a total of $20,000 it'll be out of the two together, and much needed and really well used. So we thank the county.
All right, Jessica, you have any questions?
I don't, thank
Comments?
you. I don't.
Stepped away. All right, Board Member Miller, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
No? Gary, anything? All right, I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to approve the Sandoval County DWI Prevention and Intervention Program.
Member Miller, I second the motion.
Okay, Gary makes a motion for approval, Miller second. J.C., you can take a roll call, please.
Secretary Tyler,
Yes.
Board Member Tripp,
Yes.
Board Member Miller,
Yes.
Vice President Morgan.
Yes,
Motion carries 4-0.
great, thank you. Thank you, ma'am, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your support.
Our students.
All right now. Next, we have the first reading for policy 1022, reporting student abuse of alcohol or drugs. Michelle Havel. And Miss, I always get the name tough. I struggle with Scott's last name sometime. I'm sorry. I don't want to say Scott's wife. I want to be professional, so. Mariah, okay, there we go. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I heard it, man. Yeah.
Vice President Morgan, Dr. Cleveland, members of the board, we're here to present our recommendations for some edits and additions to Board Policy 1022, reporting student abuse of alcohol and drugs. Just short background is this is in response to one, needing some more specific definitions, as well as to define the immediate timeline necessary when we do suspect that students are impaired on campus. So there is a large amount that we've changed. There's only a small amount that we did not, so I'll read it through just so that there's some continuity as I go.
All right.
New Mexico law requires that school employees who know or in good faith suspect any student of using or abusing alcohol or drugs shall report such use pursuant to procedures established by the local school boards. So long as such report is made in good faith, the reporting school employee shall be immune from civil damages for his or her action. This policy is enacted to provide a procedure to be followed by all school district employees in reporting known or suspected use or abuse of alcohol or drugs by students. A, definitions. 1, prohibited legal substances means tobacco products, tobacco electronic devices, e-cigarettes, nicotine, liquid containers, and alcoholic beverages, all of which are prohibited in school programs by state law. 2, illicit drugs means prescription and over-the-counter medications used for non-medical purposes or not used as medically prescribed by lawfully authorized practitioners or as directed by the manufacturer's literature, and include all supplemental dietary and nutrition ergogenic aids, and include all supplemental dietary and, stimulants, nootropics, adaptogens, painkillers, sedatives, antioxidants, blood boosters, and other performance-enhancing drugs.
Good job. Very good.
Ooh, there's
Very good
some
job.
main syllables there. 3, mood-altering substances means any substances that change or are capable of changing a person's emotional state, including all stimulants, opioids, intoxicative inhalants, and hallucinogens that are not medically prescribed by lawfully authorized practitioners and specifically used as directed. B, reporting known or suspected student substance abuse. All employees have a mandatory, non-discretionary duty to report known or suspected use of prohibited legal substances, illicit drugs, and mood-altering substances by any student of the district. Suspected or known use of prohibited legal substances, illicit drugs, and mood-altering substances at school or at school-sponsored events shall be reported to the principal or assistant principal of the school in which the student is enrolled. 3, other instances of suspected or known use or abuse shall be reported to the student's assigned counselor or social worker. 4, it is not the duty of the school employee making the report to conduct an investigation to determine whether the student identified has in fact used or abused drugs or alcohol. The duty to investigate shall be the responsibility of the principal to whom the report is made, provided, however, that the reporting employee shall cooperate with responsible school officials during the course of any investigation. 5, the failure of any school employee to report knowledge or suspicion of student use of prohibited legal substances, illicit drugs, or mood-altering substances in the manner outlined below may be cause for discipline of the employee. We've eliminated the reports within 3 days piece. Reporting timeframes. 1, substance use at school or during school-sponsored events. Reports shall be made immediately if a staff member learns or suspects that a student may have used or may be under the influence of prohibited legal substances, illicit drugs, or mood-altering substances at any time during the school day or during a school-sponsored event, whether on or off campus, and the student shall be supervised at all times. 2, other instances of substance abuse. Reports shall be made within 3 school days after a staff member learns or suspects a student has used prohibited legal substances, illicit drugs, or mood-altering substances outside of the school day, outside of a school-sponsored event, or in other instances.
Okay.
And we'll stand for questions.
Okay, all right, thank you. Didn't know if I wanted you to read it all, but you did a fantastic job. And I couldn't find the right time to chime in and say, okay, we get it. But anyway,
It's very repetitively specific by design.
no, that's all. You did well, though. Thank you so much. Any questions? Jessica, any questions, comments?
Yes. Let me see if I can pull it up again better. So I think we need to change the name of the policy to reflect the change to prohibited legal substances, illicit drugs, or mood-altering substances. So I
Okay.
think policy 1022 should be reporting student abuse or use of prohibited legal substances, illicit drugs, or mood-altering substances. And then in the first paragraph, I think we should also change abusing alcohol or drugs to the 3 things that we outlined below in the definitions. And then the reporting timelines, I think, reads a little difficult. It's hard to differentiate between 1 and 2. I think number 1 under C, reporting timelines, is meant to be if there is probable cause or belief that the student is actually under the influence at that time. And 2 is like if they learn of it, but we actually say, we use the word learn in both 1 and 2. So I think it's confusing to differentiate the immediately versus the 3-day.
Okay, noted.
Okay. All right, anything else? Jessica, we good?
Yeah, that's all the feedback I have. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Board Member Miller, no comments, no questions. Gary?
My question maybe fell along the lines of Jessica because I didn't understand number 2 on the reporting timeframe. I was just going to see if Sal and Lauren, they were part of the team, because I didn't.
So with our definitions, 1 is specific to students under our care and supervision. They're an event, field trip, in class, on campus. The second piece of this differentiates between students who perhaps partake outside of our care that would need to be connected, perhaps whether it be with a counselor or somebody in a support position, rather than the urgency of you're under the influence while on one of our activities or on campus.
Thank you. I got it now.
You good? Dr. Cleveland, you have any comments?
I would just emphasize, and again, this is the first reading, so the board cannot take any action on this particular meeting. But the shift is, this is now state law. And with that means that if employees do not adhere to this policy, there's the possibility of discipline. And that obviously could be administrative discipline, but it could also be licensure issues. And so it's really important that we get this information. We'll work hard to get this out to our staff, but they realize the importance of doing that. Beyond the professional responsibility, there's an ethical and moral one here. By not reporting it, not making the school administration aware of it, in a sense, we enable that behavior. And so the state has taken a pretty hard stand on reporting of anything related to this. I just kind of want to emphasize that this is not just alcohol and drugs, but we also have that same standard when we have abuse of children or other kinds of behaviors that we as professionals observe. We have that legal obligation to report it and not to ignore it or to think somehow we're being a friend by not reporting it. So this just makes it a little firmer, a little more clear what those expectations for staff are. But I plan to send out in the weekly message this information after the board acts on it in a couple of weeks in conjunction with the union to really emphasize how important it is that we adhere to these new regulations. So again, it is state statute now, and everybody is required to adhere to the law.
Okay. All right, thank you. Appreciate your time. Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is consider award of ITB number 2025-027-SND, New Mexico Grown Products for National School Lunch Program Meals. That will be done by Michael Madrid. And I'm sorry, you got to forgive me. Charge it to my mind, not my heart.
Not a problem. Felix Grego.
Okay, I'm sorry, Felix. Your name not on here, so that's why I didn't. Okay, all right, but thank you though.
Vice President Morgan, Superintendent Dr. Cleveland, members of the board. The discussion and presentation of this award recommendation is going to be two-part. I'm going to go through the procurement and the steps that we took to get a recommendation to the board. And then Mr. Griego is going to do a presentation on how establishing the price agreements to utilize the vendors that are being recommended assist him in compliance for his food programs and also on other grant opportunities that he might have an opportunity to leverage some money from. The recommendation for this afternoon is a multiple award recommendation. Requested is for El Encanto, doing business as Bueno Foods, Enchanted Farms Mushroom, EW Farms LLC, M.A. and Sons Incorporated, Carrasco Family Farm, Red Dog Farm, Silver Leaf Family Farms LLC, Wagner Farms, USA Beef Packing LLC, and Rancho de Santa Fe. The scope of work for this solicitation was to establish an indefinite unit cost from local grown agricultural product producers producing items such as fruits, vegetables, chilies, mushrooms, and beef products. The products would be supplied on an on-demand basis throughout the school year with the specifications outlined in the ITB. The pricing matrix that's listed in the back of the recommendation identifies greater detail as what that scope included. The agreement supports the district's efforts to incorporate fresh, locally sourced items into student meals consistent with the state and federal programs. Within the section of the responses and evaluations, went ahead and referenced all the recommended vendors, the products that they provide, and also a listing of some of the entities that they're currently providing products or fruits or vegetables to. I'll let you read through that. The award justification is consistent with the ITB award provisions. The district recommends a multiple award contract to ensure best value, continuity of supply, diversity of products offered. Each vendor proposed competitive pricing on the key categories, and collectively, the group ensures comprehensive coverage of the district's fresh and frozen products and proteins, which are the meats. The multiple award approach supports the procurement goal of securing the lowest available price for product type, ensuring flexibility in sourcing during peak demand periods, promoting partnerships with New Mexico agricultural products, strengthening the district's compliance with state, federal mandates for locally grown sourcing. That's a key component. Mr. Griego will talk a little bit about his opportunity of federal grants. There's monies that are available, but those grants have contingencies tied to them for New Mexico grown products. And so this solicitation will establish price agreements for those vendors to help comply with those grant opportunities. The price agreements will also establish an opportunity for other entities outside of Rio Rancho to piggyback against our price agreements. The state procurement code allows for cooperative purchases, and this will identify those opportunities for those other entities. So before I stand for questions, I'll turn it over to Mr. Griego, and he'll give a little bit more of an overview of how the procurement is going to benefit his program.
Good afternoon, Vice President Morgan, Dr. Cleveland, members of the board. Thanks for having us here to discuss the ITB that Mr. Madrid just did reference. I think he covered the majority of the details regarding the ITB. I just did want to let the board know that we get approximately $115,000 to purchase New Mexico grown products. And the district also with these local products, we're able to get back to the community and the farmers at the same time, bring in some diverse and good products that are local for our breakfast and our lunches. And so I felt that it was very important that we do procure an ITB for this. This is the first one. Santa Fe Public Schools did have one, but they no longer do have one. So I was able to go ahead and take the lead with regards to this, just to ensure that we get the good pricing. And then with the procurement thresholds, there's a couple of farmers and ranchers that we do like their product. And what this does is it allows us to go over the procurement threshold and continue to purchase those products. And then it does allow us to be in compliance with the Healthy Universal Free Meals grant, which highly recommends or requires districts to purchase locally grown products. And so we are able to do this by this procurement, and we stand for questions.
Okay. Dr. Cleveland, any comments before?
What I made earlier, the comment that's win-win for everyone, giving our students access to fresh vegetables, fruits, and things that come locally. They're not as processed and they're higher quality. Also, in terms of being able to use local beef, there's considerable savings in doing that. And so this helps our district and our kids, but it's also really important as it supports one of the key industries in New Mexico, and that's agriculture. And that's a really important part of our state's economy. So it benefits our farmers and our ranchers as well. So I think it's, I'm glad I'm really glad we had so many people respond. We've got such a good number of folks to be able to work with. So I just think that it's just really a good deal all the way around.
Okay. All right, Jessica, any comments? Questions?
No, thank you. No, just thank you for putting the work into doing this ITB, and no questions.
All right. Board Member Miller, any questions, comments?
Just appreciate the work you've done for this and providing these fresh foods for the students and working with local producers. I think it's just a win for everybody. Thank you very much.
No questions. Thank you.
I don't have anything. When I was sitting here looking at the information, I was like, man, I wonder if there was one company that had everything, but I would imagine that would just be, other than the beef, that would probably be totally impossible to have. So, right. No, totally agree. Okay, at this time, I'll take a motion.
If I can read them all.
Yeah.
Make a
I would love to help you,
I'm
Gary,
sure-
but I can't. I'm sorry.
I've heard
man.
you ask this question to Lauren in the past. So I recommend approval of award for ITB number 2025-027-S and D to multiple qualified vendors for the supply of New Mexico grown agricultural products in support of the district's participation in the National School Lunch Program. Recommended to El Cantaro DBA Bueno Foods, Enchanted Farms Mushrooms, EM Farms LLC, MA and Sons Incorporated, Carisco Family Farm, Red Dog Farm, Silverleaf Family Farms LLC, Wagner Farms, USA Beef Packing LLC, Rancho de Santa Fe.
Just need a second.
Board Member Miller, I second the motion.
Right, we got a motion from Gary, a second from Board Member Miller. Jason, you want to take roll call? I do, before I make one other thing, I think Gary said EM forms, it's EW forms, but that's
Oh,
okay, man. That's what I got you. That's what I'm here for.
All right.
So,
thank you.
Jason, you want to take a roll call, please? Thank you.
I think I did.
Secretary Tyler,
Yes.
Board Member Tripp,
Yes.
Board Member Miller,
Yes.
Vice President Morgan.
Yes, I
Motion
thought I heard.
carries 4-0.
I got you. I thought I heard him.
Thank you all for
Thank you.
putting all the time and effort to making this happen. Because I know it took a lot of extra time. There might have been easier ways. But this is good for our kids and for our staff, and it's good for our state's economy. So thank you for taking the time to put it in.
Oh, yeah. If they ever drop samples off, give us a call. We love to sample them as well. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the work. All right. Next, we'll have consider topics for 2026 board legislative resolutions for NMSBA. We'll have Lauren Hatch.
Mr. Vice President, members of the board, Dr. Cleveland, it is that time of year again. I know Dr. Cleveland mentioned it seemed like we were just going through the legislative session. But on January 20th, the legislature will meet again for a 30-day session. It's going to go until February 19th. And we are at that point of the year where the NMSBA has asked school boards to give them recommendations and resolutions about things to add to their platform. I believe Mr. Tripp has been on the policy committee in the past, and maybe is still on the policy committee. On slide 3, one more slide. These are the priorities that the school board identified last year and ended up passing resolutions about them. There was 7 of them. Do I have 7 on here? 8.
8, yeah.
The school board association asked that we not repeat them. So if there's ones that are already on their platform, and you would have gotten in your board materials this document here, which was their agenda from 2025, to not do them again, because if it's on their agenda, they're going to keep it. That's what they said basically. So if you look at page 4, we went through the topics that were presented last time. We compared it to the School Board Association's list, and we also came up with some additional ones. What the staff is recommending is that the board consider keeping the support for career technical education resolution, teacher licensure advancement resolution, additional funding for special education positions, capital improvement dollars, increased cybersecurity funding, and then we added a computer refresh on that as well, different from last year. And then some new ones, comprehensive review of the funding formula, sufficient school buses for all districts. Last year, the school board put out a resolution on transportation funding. We're proposing that we tweak that slightly to cover just the purchase of school buses while continuing the funding. And then providing adequate liability insurance coverage. There's been some recent developments with our insurance carrier where they want to add additional deductibles to some claims for the school board. And I suspect that's going to be an issue over the legislative session. So I kind of want to open the floor to see what other, does that agenda sound good? Should we introduce them along those lines? Are there additional things that the school board would like us to do resolutions on? The SBA has asked that we provide new resolutions by September 8th. That is the date of our next board meeting. I suspect we could probably get a couple extra days if we need it, but if we wanted, the board wants to have a discussion about what resolutions they'd like to see, we will draft them in the meantime and present them for the board's consideration at the next meeting.
Okay, Dr. Cleveland, you want to add anything before I ask the board members?
I think that in some of these, for example, adequate compensation for school staff is the school board's overall position statement. But if, for example, you had something that you wanted that was more specific than that, then I think it qualifies to be able to go in and say something specific. So for example, in the past, the board has said that you wanted to see 30,000 base salary for educational assistants of the district. You wanted to bring that forward, something with specificity, that would still be acceptable to do that. So I just wanted to clarify that they have the big overall picture. The board can certainly go in and add additional content or make it more specific if you feel that's necessary.
Okay,
Absolutely. And as Vice President, the board is not limited by what the.
that's right.
Right.
says.
Absolutely not.
So that's just what they asked for.
Okay. Jessica, do you have anything?
I agree with what was proposed as far as what we keep and the.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please?
Yes, I don't have any questions and I agree with what was proposed this evening.
Okay, all right. Board Member Miller, do you have anything?
No, not this time. I'm happy to see about the funding formula review. And I know the school bus situation is very important to us, and I agree with the others. I don't know how you can address this, but in this way, but why do we continue to have rating scores at the lowest in the nation? What can the state do about this? As a school board association, can they make some sort of recommendation about that? I don't know, but I just see things continuing, and yet I don't really think we're adequately addressing those issues across the state. Thank you.
Gary, anything?
Yeah, I got a few things. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My number one thing from the last year serving on the board is I think we need a very detailed plan about instructional materials and an increase in the dollars that every school district gets in the state of New Mexico. Maybe it's per student, but I use the word detail because I don't have all the answers. But instructional materials is so underfunded for so many years that our teachers, I think, need the resources that they feel they need. So I think the state, and I wrote down this number, I don't know how many people read it over the weekend, but $637 million the state has in new money that they was over budget. The 637 more dollars came in this year from projected. My number two thing, I think that instead of maybe cybersecurity, but it's school safety. And then the school district has the local autonomy to see how to best use it. I think that it should be very large in number because it could go to maybe two different areas. But I think school safety could also be a per pupil kind of attachment. So there's just so many aspects to school safety in a district our size or Farmington size or Las Cruces size and stuff like that. And then the third thing I think is the most important thing for Rio Rancho Public Schools is transportation. But I was wondering if we could write it in more detail of a way that basically every district in the state of New Mexico that does something over a two-tier system, then that district needs to be looked at to get more appropriations to allow that district to treat every kid fairly in the state of New Mexico. I'm giving exaggeration examples, unintelligent maybe, but I think transportation is a big need for us in that third area. And then I was wondering if CTE could be matched to student enrollment. The CTE funding should be attached to student enrollment. So where you do have CTE, it's not just a $300,000 because that's not going to get you anywhere. But if you attach it to maybe a percentage of the student enrollment, and then the capital outlay, is my last one, and I think we have a percentage matching 90% to 10%, or I don't know what it is right now, but the state we have money now. And I just think we could use that money to the districts to have a better percentage. And I'll be quiet. I don't argue at the other points. I just would like to see some of those things on there.
Dr. Cleveland, you want to add?
I'd like to just comment on a couple of the things that Board Member Tripp raised. Let's give you an idea. This year in instructional materials, our shortage came close to $2 million.
Mhm.
And so that meant that money had to be taken out of classrooms, and it shouldn't come out of our classrooms. In some years, there's some districts that are winners or losers in the process. It's really pretty easy to figure out what instructional materials cost and just cost it out. It's not a hard thing to do. And for some reason, we've not wanted to do that. The only time it really worked out really well was when we had a former secretary just ask us, each district, what would it cost? And we put it down, we documented it, and we sent it. And that was the year we got everything that we needed. So there are some processes, but this year, almost every district in New Mexico was short for the science adoption. So somebody didn't cost it out appropriately. And that was also part of the Yazzie Martinez lawsuit. And Judge Singleton said they will pay instructional materials costs, and that has not been the case. So it's one of the outstanding commitments that need to be addressed for Yazzie Martinez. And then I also wanted to comment just briefly on the new that is up here, adequate liability insurance coverage. I know some of you have heard it, if you've been to recent school board association meetings. We certainly have been talking about it at district level, but right now what's proposed is for each case related to any kind of sexual misconduct, whether district is at fault or not, could be a deductible of $500,000 up to $2 million per school district. And so that opens the whole question of what reserves ought to look like if that's the case. But my question is, why have insurance if you've got this kind of deductible? And so it goes anywhere from $20,000 for a micro district up to the larger districts, $500,000, even if you did everything you were supposed to do. Now, if you didn't do everything you were supposed to do, you didn't report it, or you made missteps, well, that's different. But in many of the cases, you could have done everything that you could reasonably have been expected to do. You're still going to look at a $500,000 deductible. So that's something we really do need to work on this session. And I do agree, if you didn't follow the rules, you didn't do it right, there should be a penalty. But for districts who follow the rules, do it right, you shouldn't be looking at up to a possibility of $2 million in a year. So that's what that addresses. And I know a lot of discussion has been going on School Boards Association, as it has with the Superintendent's Association. But that's something that we really do want to look at carefully, because that's a lot of money for school districts. And as I said, if you followed the rules, it seems to me it's not fair to assess that kind of deductible or liability cost for a school district. On a couple of the others, on school safety, we are always short in that area, and there's no factor in the formula. And I think that's one of the things up here in the comprehensive review of the funding formula would be something Mike Baker's asked for, where there's a factor for safety to be built into the formula. And as of now, we just have to take it out of the money we use for classrooms as well. So, and two-tier system would just be heaven sent, because I mentioned this to the board before. Every single instructional decision we made in this district over 30 years has been driven by transportation. That is what's determined much of what we've been able to do. And so a two-tier system would be wonderful. It would not force half of our elementary families to start school at 9:20. And that's not very family friendly, and it's not realistic for working parents. And I would love to see a two-tier system.
Okay. All right, Lauren, how do you want to handle the additions?
So I took notes.
Okay,
I'll probably have to go back and watch the video. I think though, I can slot most of the comments into the ones that we're proposing already.
Okay.
Maybe there's one or two we might do an addition, but I think we could put something together for the board to consider.
all right, so you still want us to move forward and vote on it then?
We don't need to vote today. You've given us the guidance about what you want to see. We will prepare the documents, we'll present them at the next board meeting.
Okay, and that'll be sufficient time, because I know you said that.
It's due the day of the
Right,
next
right.
board meeting. So they don't give us very much time. I think we got this information on the day of the last board meeting.
Okay,
So, which is too late to put it on the agenda.
all right,
We will put them together, and if we need to ask for extra time, usually we can get a little extra time.
okay. Dr. Cleveland, that work for you? I'm sorry.
So no action.
Take it.
needs to be taken.
Okay, all right, good enough. All right, well, Lauren, thank you, appreciate it. All right.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is consider approval to amendment to the lease agreement for EMDC. Michelle Havel, are you by yourself? Miss Mariah, I know what she took off, huh? What's going on? Nah, just kidding.
Good evening again, Vice President Morgan, Dr. Cleveland, and members of the board. I am here to present the amendment to our lease agreement. EMDC, for those that aren't aware, Enchanted Mesa Daycare, which services right now 45 students that belong to our staff members across the district, as well as a handful of students from Independence High School who also parent while going to school concurrently. Currently, the lease has been, it established originally 2020. This is based off the most recent 2022 lease that we've chosen to extend. There haven't been any real changes other than that year to year. So at this time, I'll go through the agreement, and then if we have any questions. So this amendment dated August 31st, of course, it's a few days ahead, but that's before we'll make our next rent payment. Is made between the Garza Group LLC, the leaser, and Rio Rancho Public Schools, the leasee, a political subdivision of the state of New Mexico, collectively the parties in accordance with the lease agreement executed by the parties on September 13th of 2022. The agreement witnesseth, whereas the leaser and leasee executed the agreement on September 9th, 2022 for the lease of premises located at 3180 Northern Boulevard Northeast, Rio Rancho, New Mexico, 87124. Whereas the leaser and leasee wish to amend the agreement to extend the term for an additional year. Now therefore, in consideration of the promises contained herein and for other good and valuable consideration, the parties agree as follows. Renewal of agreement term. The agreement shall be renewed for an additional 1-year term commencing on August 31st, 2025 and concluding on August 31st, 2026. Effective date of amendment. This amendment shall become effective on August 31st of 2025 and thereafter, unless further amended. All other terms and conditions contained in the original agreement shall remain unchanged and in full force and effect. In witness whereof, the duty authorized officers of the parties have executed the amendment. Of course, if we agree, we'll sign with Alto Bonito, which is the Garza Group. Julian Garza has been an incredible landlord to the daycare over the past 5 years, so we're hoping that we can extend for the year. And I'll stand for questions.
Okay, Dr. Cleveland, any comments?
Just the comments that I made earlier, this is an important program to the employees of the school district, and it keeps a lot of our really good staff working here. And over the years, our staff has expressed real appreciation for Rio Rancho Public School District providing this service for our families. And we opened it a year and a half ago to also students of Independence if they also needed access for their own childcare. So with that minor change, really encourage the board to continue with this agreement. But also say that long term, we're already pretty full and we're probably going to have to think of some additional options in the years ahead. But for now, I'd recommend this agreement.
All right. Jessica, any comments, questions, thoughts?
No, thank you.
All right. Board Member Miller, I'm sorry. All right, try saying that several times, huh?
Mhm.
Gary, anything?
Just one little thing, and that's under part 3, rent. I think the zip code is wrong. 87174. I think it's 87124. So that's, I think if I'm reading what I have.
Number 3, up under 3, rent.
Yeah.
Yes, well,
It's,
Yeah, it's under the Alto Bonito in the original agreement for the mailing address.
yeah, the mailing address, yeah. So I don't know if it makes a difference, but
all right. All right, I'll take a motion and a second.
okay. Make a motion to approve the amendment to the lease agreement for EMDC.
Board Member Miller, I second the motion.
All right, Gary made a motion for approval, Miller second. JC, you want to take roll call, please?
Secretary Tyler,
Yes.
Board Member Tripp,
Yes.
Board Member Miller,
Yes.
Vice President Morgan.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your time. The next on the agenda is the advanced planning. September 1st, Labor Day, no school. September 2nd, Professional Development Day, no elementary school. Our next board meeting will be September the 8th. September 22nd, Audit Committee meeting. September 22nd, regular board meeting. If there are no questions or concerns, I left my little hammer over there. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Good job.